All right. So, the horrible news, maybe, that was foreshadowed. Let's see what actually made it into Korea. Meso changes. That's my favorite word, as you guys know. Adjustments, changes. A new potential reset system, which seems like something that they're just trying to sprinkle in there so you don't feel as bad about everything else sucking. But let's see what it actually is. One day after the live server patch, which we just went over, the test world has been updated with the changes to Meso and potential resetting. It's actually pretty much everything they talked about in the MapleStory Live. Okay, well, that's... no. Last week with a few changes. In the developer notes, they mentioned they wanted to get this out as fast as possible so players could give their feedback first. I'm sure they'll be getting that feedback. But I guess that's why they didn't really make any big changes from what they mentioned yet. However, it's definitely going to make a lot of people angry in the meantime. Lol. Yeah, that's probably very true. Alright, so one is potential reset system. Start with the good news, I guess. Alright, we see a magic wand going on here. Look at that. Looking cute. Oh, I didn't know it opened in a new page like that. Then we have our... is this 20? And then we have our eternal hats, like we all do, right, guys? Okay. Is this just because there's no cubes anymore that we get a UI for cubing, quote unquote, rather than kind of like with spell traces, right? Because a lot of the scrolls they don't use anymore, so you just pay X amount of spell traces in a UI. Guess that's what they're doing. Yeah, I guess he YOLO rolled his HP. Potential reset system has been added that lets you use Meso to reset additional reset potential and additional potential. Inventory UI, you can press the potential reset system icon to use it when resetting potential or additional potential. Using the potential reset system, you can choose and apply the before or after stats. It's because like the cost basically includes the current bright cubes and no longer the it's no longer going to have the option kind of thing for the glowing cubes, basically. The cost of resetting potential is applied based on the item's required level and the current rank, and the Meso required are as follows. So you can already see pretty easily that it's way more expensive than cubing was. Up to 50 mil per roll on a legendary eternal item. Looking pretty horrible right off the bat, honestly. The only thing that's cheaper is like rolling in rare, but who's using bright cube equivalents to do that? I guess getting up to epic might be slightly cheaper than this. I'm trying to see any kind of silver lining here. But then yeah, as soon as here every single roll you're instantly paying 16 to 20 mil per roll. Just get an epic scroll. Yeah, I guess so. Potential rank increase guarantee system will also apply to resetting. But again, this is like removing the current cubes in Korea that we don't have. They just took the cubes out of the cash shop and put it into its own UI, only to just like accident. Potential rank increase guarantee system will also apply to resetting potential using Mesos, the cumulative number of accumulated separately from the existing cubes. Yeah, this is an increased guarantee system that we don't have, so that also we were already on schedule to have gotten that, and we didn't get that, so it's just like more news for the other side, I guess. Potential rank increase rate, stat appearance rate, stat rank setting rates, and number of resets required to guarantee rank up will be applied the same as black cubes. But why at triple the cost? Or more than double the cost? And why together with getting less money? This doesn't seem to make any sense at all. Yeah, I know, they probably didn't plan on making that change. They felt forced because of the... Well, that would happen with the cubes. What would happen with the exposing of the cubes by the Korean FTC, right? The cost of setting additional potential is even more expensive. Yay! 65 mil per roll on Legendary. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? Honestly, this is not bad. This could be good, as long as you just get more money, guys. So I'm sure The next thing that we'll go over is just how much more money we're getting, all right? To make sure that we can roll in this system. All right, let's see. Potential rank increase guarantee. Yep, so that cups over. That's one. Then potential improvements. Yeah, because everyone just loves rolling 95% boss damage. When resetting potential or additional potential, it has been changed so that the stats below can appear 3 times on the same item. Monster defense ignore, damage increase when attacking boss monsters, and item drop rate. Now, I don't think the 1 in a bajillion chance of hitting 3 item drop rates was worth the seeing triple IED and triple boss. It shouldn't change the odds right now though of the of hitting any of the good pots that we want. But I guess, you know, maybe a mule hits like triple boss damage and you're like, this is not the worst thing for this character, you know. This must be a typo, it's not an improvement. Well, this is not going to take percentage away from something else, and this is most likely... I think, if anything, this is probably neutral. It might be a slight improvement because this is possible, but this is not going to happen more than already... Like, if anything was already double boss and IED, or double IED and boss, you're probably already not keeping it anyway. Triple boss is only good for reg. I think even in reg, triple boss is too much, isn't it? Then map Meso acquisition limit system. Oh boy. So the first part is it's gonna be way more expensive to cube, and then the second part is we're gonna limit your Meso. When acquiring Mesos, the base Mesos and additional Mesos will be displayed separately because we can read that in that split second. That's from killing one monster, and that shows all the Bro, do you know how impossible it is to already read those messages? With the millions of monsters per second you kill? Come on. Okay, a little bit exaggeration there. Base Mesos are the amount of Mesos before the character's Meso acquisition increase stats and penalty based on the level difference, which I think is anywhere from 6 to 9. Yes, not joking. I think the lower end is 6 times the boss... 6 times the monster level. And the upper end is 9 times the monster level, I think. Multiplied by something else. I thought it was 6 to 9 times. Was it not? Exclamation mark. Maple stats. Oh, did I misremember? Yeah, because those numbers are way higher. Control F. Meso. Party splitting, level difference penalty. Okay, there's a bunch of Meso stuff here. Yeah, 6 to 9. Bro! Remember, we're getting more Mesoptane in Legion Legion artifact system though, guys. I'm sure that'll compensate for all of this, the extra 12%. Okay. Wait, yeah, so it is 6 to 9 times. I was right. Bish, you guessed it. Whoa, you was right. And the additional Mesos are the amount of Mesos, well, is the amount of Mesos, or are the Mesos increased or decreased based on the character's Meso acquisition, increased stats, and penalty based on the difference between the character and the... Oh, so if you get 0 Mesos, you're not just going to get 0. You're going to get the number of how much you would have gotten, and then minus another number that's the same or bigger, and that's the reason why you do... No, I guess if you don't see a bag, you can't loot it, so you won't get the pop-up. But if you get like a reduced amount of Mesos, you'll just get more lines on the right side of your screen. Okay, can't wait to turn that off. Actually, which I think you can, right? You can turn off the messages on the right side of your screen, I think, in the options somewhere. Wait, item options, short tooltips? What is that? What? My stats! I just lost all my stats, guys. Oh my god. Why would you ever do this? What's the point? Social. It should be under game. No? Battle messages, chat window only? This one, right? I think it's this one. I think if you have that one on, then those messages on the right side don't show up. Then she's exclamation mark stats to 0. Yeah, it's ogre. If the reduction in Meso acquired due to the penalty based on the difference between the character level and monster level is greater than the increase in Mesos acquired due to Meso acquisition and certain rate, the Meso penalty will be displayed as a negative number instead of additional Mesos. Oh god. A limit will be applied to the Meso acquired from hunting by a character per day. When acquiring Mesos from hunting, the base amount of Mesos from the acquired Mesos... The base amount of Mesos from the acquired Mesos will be accumulated. If the daily accumulated Meso reaches the limit, the amount of Mesos will no longer increase, even if you acquire Mesos from hunting. Changes in the amount of Mesos acquired due to Meso acquisition increase rates and the penalty based on... will not affect the daily accumulated Mesos. If you try to acquire Mesos from hunting while holding the maximum amount of Mesos, you will not be able to acquire Mesos and daily accumulated Mesos will not increase. Wow, okay. The daily accumulated Mesos will be reset every day at reset. The daily accumulated Meso limit is applied on a per character basis and increases based on a character's level. $20 million. $40 million. 80 mil plus 5 mil every 5 levels from after 200. It's up to a cap of 59 mil extra, it's up to 139 mil. And goes up to 50. 260 to 300 plus 10 mil for every 5 levels after 260. So if you're 280, get up to 190 base. Jesus. Time to nerf the Moses from the chats to align with the KMS. You've reached a daily accumulated Meso limit, and your limit increases because you leveled up. You can then acquire additional base Mesos equal to the increased limit. Why do I feel like all of this is just being done because Korea is like overrun with Korea non-reboot is being overrun with bots, and they want to be able to have the economy in hand better. Why do I feel like that's the only reason that this is happening? But because they're changing the cube system, they just want to change it in reboot as well because it's easier to do. But then if they did that, then they would have to have different prices for reboot, which seem way too high, so they don't want to do that. So then instead they just knock off the... If they're gonna stop boss, they just swap characters. No, well, yeah. That's always been the problem with Nexon, is that they've always come up with these like elaborate, wild like things to block bots from being able to do something or block hackers. And then they kind of work a little bit. And then like a week or two after that, every single hacker and every single botter has found a way around it. And then all that's really left in the game is a bunch of systems that the legitimate players have to try to... Like a bunch of hoops that the legit players have to try to jump through. But they're there only to like mess with you as a legit player, because hackers have already moved on to the next thing. Like they're not even bothered by it anymore. And that seems to be like every single thing that they implemented. I don't know. You can check information about hang on, guys. When the dungeon comes out, I'm sure the dungeon is gonna give you like 50 bill per week. So it's all gonna be fixed, guys. Anyone want some of this weapons grade copium that I want? Okay, you can check the information about your daily accumulated Meso limit by hovering over the Meso button on the inventory UI. Lovely. Reboot world adjustments. I'm sure this is fine. Reboot passive effects. Meso acquisition effect has been removed. Not just slightly reduced. No, just removed. In Reboot world, the intense power crystal selling prices have been changed to be same as regular worlds. Bro, these are the two sentences that I just never wanted to see in my lifetime. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not really like emotionally invested in what this game does. But these two sentences are like... Those are not sentences that I wanted to read. These two things combined with also cubing getting more expensive is like... Where's the counterweight to any of this? I know there could be adjustments, right? Yeah, I never knew that like two small sentences could have like such a devastating impact. It's like chemo, it'll work or it'll kill you. Yeah, one of the two. And then the worst part about this is that there's like no... Like, I know Max would have put it here. There's no like developer notes. There's no like... This is the grand overall vision on why we're trying to do this and what our goal is with these changes. No, it's just like, here they are. Enjoy. How are you expecting anyone to be like, okay, no, I can kind of see where they're coming from with this. If it's not developer note at the bottom. Okay, okay. Maybe it's it. Let me scroll through. I always say these things too early. Okay, there's developer note. Okay, we'll see how they'll walk their way out of this one, or talk their way out of this one. In-game cube item acquisition sources removal. When using the following items, you can no longer acquire strange cubes. Everything. Boss monsters, field bosses, elite monsters, and elite champions will no longer drop any kind of cubes. You can no longer acquire strange cubes from the rare treasure boxes. You no longer acquire strange cubes from bounty hunter boxes. You no longer acquire strange... Max... Just put you could no longer acquire cubes, please. Why did you write them all out? Oh no. You can no longer acquire anything. Everything is gone. Strange cubes are occult cubes, right? No more occult cubes, craftsman cubes, meister cubes. Actually, you can no longer acquire strange cube, craftsman cubes, and meister cubes. We don't even have those right now in the first place. So, we're not even getting changed, guys. Poggers. For monster collection, decent or great exploration boxes. Mystery ore veins and mystery legendary veins will no longer drop strange cubes. We're all Dutch people in non-reboot now. In Reboot World, the Reboot Cube shop has been removed from the quick move. In Reboot World, NPC and Android shop will no longer sell craftsman cubes, red cubes, or black cubes. Well, we are... joke's on you, we don't have those either. NPC Mr. Poncho will no longer sell Karma Craftsman Cubes. NPC Quelburn no longer sell Chaos Blade or Powerful Chaos Blades. Zero jobs can no longer reset potential using weapon points and mesos. Damn, they're getting hit by this too. They're gonna have to pay full price. Cash shop at the cash shop, black cubes, red cubes, and additional cubes will no longer be sold. RIP. Cash Shop's Enhancements categories enhancements section has been removed. The Miracle Circulator, which was sold in category Reboot World, has been moved to Game categories convenience. Oh, I thought for a second there I thought they were just removing the Miracle Circulator as well. Kevin, thanks again for the 47 months. The guy always gets 2 subs. That's like the 94th time he subbed, actually. Star Force Enhancement Improvements. When Star Force enhancing... How many ads do you have going on? 1.5 minutes of ads every 15 minutes. Is what I have going on. So if you're watching more ads than me, then there's something wrong with your stream. Starforce Enhancement Improvements. When Starforcing, the Meso cost has been decreased by about 30% when the target enhancement level is 1 through 15. I mean, whoop-de-fucking-do, I guess? Oh, yeah, I guess we were looking for the compensation on... on what was gonna make... well, this is it. So this is the one thing on the other side. This is gonna make it all worth it. Honestly, here, this could be the fix, okay? If they make all of the stats that you end up with at 25 stars, instead, you get them from 1 through 15, but it's 30% off, and all of the stats are compounded in items, and all the items are done at 15 stars instead, then mathematically, this could actually still make sense. They're not doing that. But, you know, there's like some crazy crunching things that they could do. I'm not there. Thank you for the prime as well, by the way. Thanks for double priming, boys. And starting the hype train. Thank you. Or yeah, like every Arcane and Eternal that just drop as 22 star. Yeah, you know. I mean, like, this is a nice small thing, I guess, but it just, yeah, doesn't even like register in the grand scheme of things. Is like the amount of money you're getting is gonna be like cut by like a factor of 5, but at least like the things that cost you like 400 mil are only gonna cost you about like 280 mil anymore. Okay. Meso market improvements. Are we gonna add this to reboot? Bro, if they added to reboot right now, people start like hoarding like trillions and stuff. No, they can't do that. That'd be horrible. In the Meso market, the maximum amount of Mesos you can buy or sell in one trade has been increased from 1 billion to 5 billion. It's okay, guys. I'll be fine because I have 65 bill in non-reboot. I'll be able to bounce back. Destruction King Ursus. Excuse you. Ursus is a lady. Okay. Destruction King Ursus can no longer be used. Bro. The one kind of cool content you have. Bro, just get good anti-cheat, man. How hard can it be to just get good anti-cheat? You really have to like remove cool content in the game because you can't keep hackers out? Unreal, bro. Why not just keep it in the game so that at least you can still get the materials, you can get Ursus buffs and pets and all that stuff? Maybe why not just take the Mesos out? Why remove the whole thing? Oh, all the achievements gone as well? Okay, no need to work on those achievements. NPC Aisha will no longer appear. Ursus store can be used talking to the Maple admin until April 24th? Wait, so if you have like 5,000 material enough, like some idiots like me, for like 5,000 Ursus buffs, you just have to use all of those up before April 24th, otherwise you're fucked. Oh wait, but they're different in Korea, right? I think Ursus buffs in Korea don't expire. They're permanent over there. We AFK'd a whole month to get a perma Ursus buff? Kinda true. Bro, there was so much cool stuff coming to this game. We were actually looking forward to stuff. And now this. UI improvements. Yeah, we don't give a shit about all this, man. This is also potential rank guarantee. We don't even have this in GMS. Dude, we need like within... I don't know how this is gonna... Okay, we'll just finish reading first. Keep rank increase guarantee system has been changed. Yeah. Oh wait, I care. Alright, as promised in the last live stream, we prepared a separate test world to show players the potential reset through Meso feature and MapleStory's new appearance. Amazing. In this test world, we would like to explain what is different or added from what was said in the last live stream. No, tell us why. First of all, potential reset cost has been lowered from what we initially revealed. Through this, we plan to write... Really? It couldn't have been by much. Oh, this one. Like $1 million? What is this orange ring? Bruh, it went up though. It went up for eternal. It went down for like everything below eternal, like a little. I guess decently. Okay, this 80 mil was ridiculous. Okay, they did cut it back a lot from their initial, but then somehow increased it a little bit. Oh wait, the levels are the other way around. What the fuck? This is confusing. Okay, hang on. Oh yeah, 52 to 64. Oh, there you go. It's like 12 mil diff, 15 mil diff. Oh, that's why the numbers look fucking weird. Okay. Okay, so lower by 10 mil. I mean, yeah, okay. It's moving in the right direction, I guess. But how can you justify making it more expensive than it is now and then also taking the Meso away? Like, there has to be... And also taking sources of Meso away. There has to be like some insane source of Meso that's about to come that they should already mention here so that people don't completely flip their shit, right? Through this, we plan to provide players with a better enhancement experience and in the long run stabilize the market economy. All right. And what is the reason for doing it for Reboot? Because since we don't have a market economy, no mention again whatsoever. Just not mentioned. Reboot does not exist. Just not addressing it whatsoever. You can address the market economy. Okay, that's half of your argument. Where's the other half that Reboot has to also sit in like a shit show? We just don't exist. Awesome. Additionally, the cost of Star Force enhancements has been decreased by about 30% from 14 stars and lower. Okay, this is literally like, what, 2% of your total well, how much is this gonna mean? How much does this decrease the cost of your total Star Force? Let's see. Exclamation mark, Star Force. Okay, let's see. Calculator. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Appreciate it. Alright, let's see. We do a 22-star item. Wow. Amazing. 200 from 0 to 22. We safeguard, of course. We star catch. Boom, 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 boom. Regular stars. Regular price. Okay, average. 40... 45 bill. Okay, cool. Now it goes 0 to 15 at 30% off. Wow. Look at that. That is going to save us. Oh my god. 280 bill. Mil, sorry. 280 mil saved on a total of 45. Dude, the rounding is like more than that. Are you serious? 280 mil saved on a 45 bill ticket? That's 1/180th. Oh, dude, I said 2%. I'm sorry. I lied to you so hard. It's not 2%. It's 0.5%. It's 0.5% of your cost to get to 22 stars is being reduced. 0.5%. 0.5%. Well, your money from your crystal is getting cut into fives. It's being reduced by 80%. It's like you save 0.6% on star forcing, so you can spend 2.2x the amount on cubing while losing 80% of your income. Kill me now. Okay. In addition to this is to adjust the difficulty of equipment growth in earlier stages due to potential resetting being done through Mesos now. Okay, they just don't want people to ever have like double primes and stuff. That was probably the game was probably not balanced for people actually going 23 and double primes though. Let's be real, that's probably wasn't really intended. We are probably making too much money in Reboot. That's probably true, but this is like so drastic of a change. Now we know how all the Kanas felt, by the way, guys. We were on top of the world, and then okay. Also, as mentioned, we have the cubes that are currently available in game to be unavailable. Types of sure. The rewards for the current ongoing events will remain the same until the end of the events. So are all the events just going to give you like billions and billions and billions of Mesos now? Or are you going to get like potential reset tokens or something? Cubes and delegates will be changed to a separate update in the future. To what? Finally, we're planning to delete Ursus content. Why? Currently, Ursus content accounts for less than 10% of total Meso produced. Okay, but just because that doesn't mean you have to delete it. You could just take the Mesos away and still keep the content for people who want to do it. But the low difficulty of the content makes it advantageous for macros and workshops. Okay, so that's still no reason to take it away. That's a reason to take the Meso away, but not reason to take the content away. Never said it if you left the content as is. There was a high possibility of cause for economic problems. Okay, no. That's only if you keep the Meso. Why do they only address half of what they're doing? Why are they pretending like the only way you can have Ursus is by it giving the Mesos that it does now? And it can't like give you other things instead. Also, Ursus in non-Reboot in Korea is less than 10%. Is less than 10% 1%? Or is it close to 10%? If you say less than 10%, then it's like very high 8 to like mid 9, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't say a less than 10%, right? So somewhere around 9% of the Mesos in the entire server is made from Ursus? How much make Ursus in a week? Like 700 mil. So I guess as soon as you make like more than 6 bill a week, then you're making more than like the average. Holy shit. Okay. That's reasonable? Then it's like 1 week's crystals on my arc is more than that. That is clearly less than 10% of the problem. Well, no, it might be more than 10% of the problem, even though it's only 10% of the Mesos. It might be, right? Because if it's exploitable more, 10% of the Mesos is still a huge amount, right? They ever said that if you let the content as is, there is a high possibility of causing economic problems when a potential resetting through Meso system is implemented in the official server in the future. Okay, so because in the official server, the Meso from Ursus could be a problem for the market, that's why Reboot can no longer kill Ursus. Who is running this clown show? That is not only... It's not even connected, but it's also not even an explanation or a reason. 7.2%? Well, okay. I'm taking a deep breath. I'll take a deep breath. We plan to increase the number of ways to acquire Mesos through other methods in the future. Okay, you said that. Okay, and that's great. And also that's necessary if you want to push this through. But you cannot say, okay, we're going to remove it on one point and we're going to increase it in another thing. We're not going to tell you how much it's going to be and where it's going to be and how long it's going to take. But just to get used to getting fucked over, we're already just gonna like bend you over and do all of the nerfs now, so that we can seem like the benevolent benefactors when we give you a little bit more money later when you've gotten used to how nothing you're getting, why not wait until you have those things in place and then do them at the same time so they compensate each other? If they say when and how, the bots will already be getting prepared. They want to at least have like a month or two that they can enjoy their new system before it gets attacked in every single wave. She's coming to GMS? No clue, no clue. It might not even come to KMS like this. We don't even know that yet. But I'm sure that you'll have some other people in content creators saying that it is definitely coming to GMS, and we need to start like throwing rotten tomatoes at like Nexon employees or some shit. Whatever the hashtag rotten tomatoes or whatever. I need help. Give me Discord power. Kolomara needs a time out. Needs a time. My ears are bleeding. He's saying shit out of pocket. Wait, what's going on, Mr. Zone? What is really going on? Is Kolomara lucker dogging? We proceeded with this update with the biggest focus on speed. As these are significant changes to the game, we thought that showing them to the players as quickly as possible and receiving feedback on them would make MapleStory healthier. It's not, because you're only showing the negative side of the coin. If you're planning to do two things, cut Meso in one part, add Meso in another part, if you show only one of them, you're not going to get the good result. Right? If you're only going to add mesos to everything, people are going to love your shit. If you're only going to take meso away, people are going to hate your shit. If you do them at the same time, you'll get a slightly more unbiased and a slightly more nuanced result. It makes it harder to see what is too much nerf and what is too much buff when you're doing two things at the same time. That's true. But if you only do one of them, you can never get any worthwhile feedback. Because Maplers are fucking degens whose entire lives revolve around making more meso. So if you reduce that even like a little bit, they'll already get upset. If you show them these numbers, they'll just be pissed at... Like, you're never going to get like usable feedback here. I don't know what focus group did they throw this at and be like, yeah, this is a good idea. Let's do this. There's no shot. I mean, announcing it earlier is probably a good idea. Like, announcing, like, hey, we're having, like, a huge problem with hackers and botters. We're going to have to shift in a significant way where the mesos come from. We want to make sure that your growth is still in this similar position as where it is now, but that it's just a lot harder for bots and, like, botting farms and all that shit to be making meso. So we're going to make changes like that in the future. Then people know, like, okay, some things are going to change, but it's for a good reason. And now it's more like, okay, this one thing gets bottled a lot, so we're just axing that, and also everyone gets like cut off at the fucking knees. But trust us, there's going to be more mesos in the future. Trust. And it's like, oh, you're telling us to trust you with that after FTC just like fucking find you like another, what was it, 90 million? After you've been like fucking us over relentlessly for the last 12 years. We're supposed to just trust that this is like part of a grander plan that's actually going to be positive at the end of the rainbow. You can't be doing that. It's not the time. It's not the time for it, and it's not the way to do it. Like, I don't know who advised them that this was like good times. There's just no shot. But I know who said that they wanted it, and who said that it was good. Actually, I know. It was actually KMS non-reboot players. They're actually they actually seem to be happy with these changes, which is really cool that you can love not getting fucked over so much that you love to see it happen to other people. Great. In addition to the changes currently implemented, we are well aware that MapleStory needs many more changes. We will make these changes one by one with the mindset of creating a new game together with our players. Good luck. We ask for your interest and feedback. Well, send them feedback. Of course, not if you're in GMS, because you have no idea if that's common, and you have no idea. You could send feedback in the sense of, like, if this stuff is coming, then we are, like, out of here, and then also be out of here when it happens, and not just say so, and then just log back in immediately the next day. But, again, direct it at Nexon, at employees. Use the official Forums, use the Discords respectfully. Use the subreddit to make productive threads. Use the forums for MapleStory. They exist, actually, forums. I'd never go there. But those exist. Let's see what the comment section is looking like. I'm sure it'll be fine. First comment in here, and maybe a last comment for this game too. Nice. Nexon. Okay. Based. Execute. Pay the fine for their atrocities. Admit they were wrong and apologize. Release Cube Rage versus 7. But apparently KMS players don't care about abusive community making. KMS has the rates. Make reg server better for reg server players. Nexon should not punish all players for their own completely scum illegal decisions. I don't think that that's what they're doing. They're trying to get people more to non-reboot, and they're trying to get botters out of the game in the only way that they can, which is just gutting their game, and then hoping that the game becomes so unplayable that the bots will leave, and that the players won't leave. Oh, yeah, okay, you got it, nice. Buy Mushroom. Crazy to tiptoe about Meso and economy with dynamic crystals and NERFS. Now they straight up created a massive Meso demand vacuum and also crushing. Reboot deserve this for being the baby server. Lol, keep crying, baby. This one's off. Just troll. Your dick sounds. Oh, damn. This guy must be packing to use an insult like that. You sound like a reboot player. Lol, stay mad, baby. Well, of course he would be a reboot player with. Dude, you commented that. Come on, you can do better than that. Yeah, well, yeah. Give him the pinchy hand. Nice, nice. No, I'm with you. So. Shut up and buy fucking Hammer's Wallet Boy. Damn. Are you ready to step it up a notch? The brand new reboot world is getting added to MapleStory. This world brings MapleStory back to its roots in a hardcore RPG. Oh look, next time finally keep its promise by making Reboot the hardcore server instead of a baby server. Why people cry about it? It's fit the GMS description. Now the true hardcore server. Well, to be fair, most of the people here replying are GMS players probably, and not KMS players, I think. Oh boy, it's getting wild in here. Those Xavier's precious pay to win garbage reg server cesspool got nerfed to shit just because they killed Reboot in the process. Spitty is on par with Nexon, thinking they will have a game to save in 6 months. LeMayo, come on, a bitch ass. Fuck you and fuck Nexon ass. Server, not the baby server. It's why I play it. Being able to buy power, trade items for power, sell maple points for mesos, having access to totems, firestarter rings, BOD, BPOD. Again, yeah, this is GMS people fighting in a KMS test via patch notes. LOL and also Lamau, okay. It's gonna be hilarious when they port this to GMS, if they do, yeah. KMS small PP, got him. You see KMS reg server people on Twitch, they... Bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? These people are absolute degenerates. I honestly forgot about Ursus. Okay, that's probably a GMS non-reboot player, because you can't be on reboot and forget about Ursus. Your pussy is on fire. Nice. One shit hex global. Who cares? I'm curious to see the base player count in KMS after this update, and still wondering if it's gonna hit GMS. They will lose a lot from it. I like I said. Honestly, yeah, I don't change anything from what I said the very first time when I saw those numbers. Sure, they reduced the numbers a little bit on the Meso, or not a little bit. They probably reduced it by like 20% or something, the cost for the re-rolling of the potential. But that's what we call it, you're like mopping with the tap running. Like, yeah, sure, you're like solving a little bit of the problem, or like carrying water to the sea or whatever the fuck. Like, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't put a dent in it. The reality is they could add a lot of mesos in the future that could compensate for this and even give us more spending power. That's possible. But at the same time, we have no plan for that. Just an announcement that they're definitely going to do that from a company that's lied to you endlessly in the past, and you're only applying all of the negatives with a 30% Star Force cut up to 15, which we already looked at is 0.6% of your total expenditure getting to 22. Like, there cannot possibly be any, definitely not positive, but no constructive and no nuanced feedback on these systems and how players plan to play around it and definitely engage with it if you aren't putting enough of a counter to like the nerfing of the base valuation of the what the entire economy drives around. It's just not possible. So yeah, I don't know when they were planning on how long this test server was supposed to be. Test servers are usually 1 or 2 weeks, right? And in one very, very rare occasion, it's been 3 weeks. But I cannot imagine KMS responding in any kind of productive or positive way to anything, because it's so overwhelmingly nerf without any counter. So, you know. Go back to the drawing board. Look, it's fine to announce that this is coming in the future and say, but we're not going to do any of that yet because we haven't drawn up like other systems yet that will make Meso. Once we have those other systems, then we will implement these changes with the other Meso sources and see and put it in the test server for like 3 weeks to a month, and then see how the economy within the test server and see how that is going to affect stuff. Because think about it, like, their major thing is like we don't want to upset the non-reboot economy, which is definitely something they need to worry about, as Korea definitely way more than GMS would have to worry about it. But then you're still doing like a one-sided rug pull without any kind of compensation on the other side. So you are going to be messing up the KMS Meso market like insanely. Because there's insecurity. When it comes to like any kind of exchange or whatever, the biggest predictor of like chaos is insecurity. It's not any kind of, it's not change, but it's insecurity about the change. And that's what's going to happen here. So their Meso market is going to fucking flip all over the place. Even if you have like, you know, 10 whales who are like laughing at Reboot or something. Like, that point doesn't even matter in the grand scheme. What would I do if I were GMS? I would have to, if I was GMS, so like if I were working at Nexon at GMS, well, first of all, I would have to know exactly why these changes are being made. If these changes are being made because a certain amount of hackers and botters is in Korea, if these changes are being made because of the money that's coming from Reboot versus non-Reboot has shifted away from where the balance they want to be. If basically all of the supporting, if they have on paper, like what are all the motivations on why this is changing, like those motivations that we're not getting here basically, which is, because I never really care about what's changing. I care about why are you changing things and what are you trying to address with these things. Right now, I don't have those 2 points, so I can't like engage with this, right? So this is just trash, because there's not even a real reason on why you're doing this. There's like some vague allusions to something, but there's not like a point of like, hey, these 3 things are fucked, and these are the ways that we're gonna fix them, and we're gonna cut something off on these parts, and we're gonna add something on these parts. That's what we're gonna do in the next 2 months. That's what we're gonna work on. No, it's like, you know, this can be abused by some people, so we're gonna take all of this away, and then we might fix later all the things you lost. That's not a patch, you know. That's not even half work. What is this? Can I open this on stream? In the grand calculus of the Mapleverse, your sacrifice is worth more than your Mesos. Of course. So if I'm in GMS, I need to know, coming from KMS, like how much of this is going to be so deeply embedded in the code. Which things are we going to have to abide by? And are going to be ported over regardless. So if it's like Ursus being removed, that's just not going to be in the game anymore. If that's something that needs to happen in GMS as well, then I would look at, okay, what can we do? Well, one step. The first step, right? What are the reasons? If any of those reasons also apply to GMS, then you would have to probably kind of find a way to fix that same problems, but then for reboot, for GMS. But GMS has a way bigger reboot than a non-reboot, so we're making because I'm GMS now, making much more of our money coming from reboot versus non-reboot. The percentage is way different than it was in KMS, right? So if like over the last few months or something, GMS's income has probably been going up quite a bit, and KMS has been going down. So whatever they have to do with their cubes in their region, with their balance between reboot and non-reboot, right? That should not affect at all like what we have to do over here with our different balance, with our different incomes, with our different, you know, from like a business perspective kind of thing, right? So if there are certain things you can't work around because they're gonna get like copied into the code from KMS, then I hope that they look at whether or not those things are even problems for GMS and then work around it to like compensate those possible negative impacts on GMS. And if none of them have to go through, then I propose they change nothing unless there's a greater system again. Like if KMS is going to include something that makes a lot of money for the game, well then probably something will have to get cut. Maybe the crystals or something in Reboot will have to get cut a bit or change the numbers. Remember, like we have different prices for our crystals in GMS than KMS does as well. Like a lot of people focus on like, oh my god, there's something bad happening in KMS, we're gonna get fucked. But nobody looks right now at how much more we're getting than Korea in every single way already, and how long we've had that. Just because you're losing a bunch doesn't mean that you're now you have less than what you had, but it doesn't mean that you have less than what the game is designed for you to be able to play it with that you can get, right? A lot of times people focus on like, okay, what we have now is just 100%, and everything that you lose makes you go under 100%, so that's bad. But we're not operating at 100%. If you look at how much damage KMS has versus GMS, we're probably operating at like 115%. So if you like lose a chunk, we might still be above like the balance that's needed for the game. But many people don't like even mention that or like have that addressed. Did you see Jade's message on Reddit? Oh boy, I'm sure the Reddit thread is. I'm sure I can share anything my team hasn't already shared, so all I will say is to please trust us. You and the rest of the community are what keeps our game going, so we won't take these concerns lightly. I mean, to be fair, GMS employees have a pretty huge incentive to ensure GMS doesn't die. So do KMS employees, but they don't care. I mean, all of Nexon has a good incentive to make sure the game doesn't die. Isn't MapleStory still the biggest title within Nexon? But yeah, I think there would have to be at least like 3 or 4 really bad bureaucratic top-down decisions that no one can overturn. At this point, that would make this come to GMS like this. And all of them uninfluenced by the players, which I don't see happening. So I don't know how much people are like willing to bet on things or something, but yeah, this is not coming to GMS. I mean, if it does, who cares? That we all just quit anyway, so no loss there. Maybe I'll go play something else. There shall be a lot of guides for me to make if this comes. Holy shit. I can already not keep up with the amount of guides I need to be making to like upgrade the current systems. If this changes, the whole game is just different. I don't know. It's a bad move. It's bad timing. There's no motivation. There's no supporting arguments. There's just nothing right. You just stick your 30%, Star Force cost reduction up to 15 and just shove it, I guess. This doesn't make any sense, bro. But again, the only silver lining is now you know how every Kana main feels, guys. To be fair, they were all bandwagoning off of Kana being OP as fuck, so they deserved it. But we didn't, okay? In Reboot, we started playing Reboot when it was the hard time. They made it good for us, alright? They made us get used to it. Not just top 4. I'm not talking. It's not just top 4. What does that mean? Next one announced November 11th that Mahone will step down in March of 2024. Oh, wait, I didn't. Oh, no. Maybe you'll be replaced by Jung-Un Lee, head of Nexon Korea, and a board member. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Can I still retract my statement? Despite the fact Mahone was a Westerner in charge of a company with its headquarters in Japan and much of its development stuff in South Korea, Mahone had a stellar record while running a company that is known for Dungeon and Fighter. That's such a horrible name, honestly. Maple Story, Kart Rider, and on PC. Most recent quarter, Maple Story grew 46% compared to a year ago. Are they taking the year where they took like the biggest hit ever and they just got back their player base? Studying management will stand for re-election to Nexon's board and serve as senior advisor. But Liam and Lemmy will serve in their current roles until the succession is formally approved. Interesting to see where this company valued at $20 billion in the stock market goes next. Personally, for me, why say it twice? It's been a great run. I've got 10 years as CEO. I joined next one. Control F Maple Story. Oh yeah, it's like, or just don't take my input. Control F. Thank you. You figured out what you want to do next. Sitting on the board as director, is going to be an advisor for the company overall. I think the games industry is an underachiever for what it could be, and we've proven out a few things around theme. What? We've proven out a few things around themes that you and I have talked about for the last decade, Dean. I don't understand that sentence. Proving those things out at next. Is he saying that proving out is a... That's not a verb. Just proven. Wait, is to prove... I've never heard someone say to prove out. That's not English, is it? To show or be shown to be satisfactory, accurate, true, etc. That must be some archaic shit. I've never heard someone say that in my life. But okay. It's like technically true, I guess. Thank you for gifting sub, Jay. Appreciate it. Look at our business and said, look, we had all these live virtual worlds, games like Maple Story and Dungeon Fighter and several others, and they go up and down a little bit quarter by quarter, but they essentially grow very consistently over a period of years or decades. That gives us enormous stability. Yeah, so let's just throw that out the window and see if it sticks. We don't replace old lost revenue with new revenue. We can build on top of each other. We can build, and then when we do new game development, we should be going further out with something that is new and different and wacky and strange, because that's going to give us a more likelihood of a blue ocean opportunity, meaning less competition. A higher likelihood. So products end up Looking less like other products if we do our jobs well, and that has been a core part of what we do with new development. The second part of new development is rather than throwing bodies at the problem and trying to get the last pixel on the page or the last polygon, we bring software to bear. Not to the bear, apparently. Ursus is gone. Got him. Instead of putting people on it, hiring more hundreds of people, we use software to solve some of these game development problems. As a result, we have a much smaller development team. Now the team that made the finals is under 100 people, and it's a AAA game. Is he talking about using AI? What the fuck? We're gonna be able to make. We have to employ fewer people, not less people. We'll put them to more effective use. And by the way, it's not about the whole idea of the cost savings. So you have a smaller team rather than a massive team. You can have a 100-person team instead of a 1,000-person team. Isn't that great? For profitability, yeah, but you can employ 1,000 people versus only employing 100 people. I think that's great. That's 100 families that are being able to be fed versus only 1,000 families versus only 100. But while you're still making billions and billions of dollars, so you can easily just spread that wealth over more people and have more people not living in poverty or not having a job. But sure. It's not even really about that. Then why mention it? What it's really about is getting game developers closer to the development process, because game development at its core is a highly iterative process. Sure. And there's usually artists and creators standing in front of a whiteboard arguing about new creative ideas, throwing out things that don't work, trying something new, saying, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we just cut the mesos of Reboot by 80% while making cubing more expensive? Get this man a raise. Fire another 9 people and give this man 800% raise. So do that. You can't do that with a cast of thousands or a cast of hundreds. This is why you have teams and hierarchical structures, no? You can only do that with a smaller group. That's why I think small teams being more effective is a very, very big deal. And the good news is there's a lot of software coming at us, from around you, from outside the industry. What we really need to do is leverage those tools much more effectively. Misreading this. I'm reading the words he's saying. Are you thinking I'm reading different words? There's many ways to read this, but it was essentially saying like, oh, you can make even more money if you just have fewer people. Like the efficiency and the productivity per person goes down as you have bigger teams. So there's like an optimal team size where you can figure out the project and you don't need to grow beyond that. I mean, if anything, Twitch has shown that. They just kept growing and growing and adding more and more people and more bloat when the product ended up suffering as a result. That's why they cut a bunch of people now. Like, I get that. But saying like, isn't it great that you could make the same money or even more with fewer people, so you can all have like higher profits and we can pay out our CEO like another 10x the amount of time? That's kind of what it sounds like. His whole spiel? I think that's a Pokemon. About smaller teams is only for new projects. Oh, huh? I thought he was mentioning MapleStory here. Oh, okay, maybe I did misread it then. I didn't see that at all as him talking about new teams. Do you worry that the teams could also take forever to finish their games, the smaller ones? I guess that's connected to that, yeah. So that's a problem with big teams too. It's just much more damaging with big teams. Yeah, because then you have way more money invested that doesn't go anywhere. Strictly submit. The artists get in the business ultimately to ship products, and so people who are very serious about serious about making great new products want to ship it. They want to have a big fan base, and so. Okay. Well, I don't get exactly how this connects to. So this guy will be CEO starting March 2024. Well, we'll keep a close eye on what Koreans feel about this. I'm sure it's super positive, very nuanced. They're working productively, giving active feedback in the forums, trying to do their best to see the the silver linings and the positives in the change to make sure that Nexon can work on that for the future. And yeah, that's what I'm sure is happening right now. So yeah, no worries yet. I don't need your feedback from you guys yet. Obviously, I know you don't like it. Like, that's for reboot or non-reboot. That's all very obvious. So you don't need to like riot about it. If anything, make like I said, productive posts on Reddit, productive posts, productive conversation in the Discords. Like, everybody knows, right? You don't need to like harass people with it or ask every single person 16 times what they think about it, right? Like, it's obvious, all right? It's not a... Right? So, it's a balls in KMS's court now. KMS's players, KMS feedback from the test server. I've already repeated my feedback like 4 times now. So, yeah. Well, I'll keep you guys posted if there's more information known about this. But I don't know exactly how long this test server is supposed to be. If it's supposed to be just like a week or if it's like 2 or 3. So yeah, maybe big update in a week, but I think it might be 2 weeks, but I'm not sure. Not sure. I think something of this magnitude probably needs a few weeks in the test server, but we'll see. All right, see you on the next one. Thanks for checking it out, and now you're up to date a little bit of what's going on there. All right, bye.